There are very few people in Hollywood whose lives seem to belong in a movie of their own, and Nicole Kidman is undoubtedly one of them. Her story is not simply the story of an actress who became famous. It is the story of a woman who faced rejection, pressure, heartbreak, public scrutiny, and impossible expectations, yet somehow transformed every challenge into another stepping stone toward greatness. Long before she became one of the most recognized faces in entertainment, Nicole Kidman was simply a young girl with dreams that felt far bigger than the world around her. Born in Honolulu, Hawaii on June 20, 1967, while her Australian parents were temporarily living in the United States, Nicole entered a family that valued education, intelligence, and hard work. Her father was a respected psychologist and researcher, while her mother was deeply involved in education and social causes. The family eventually returned to Australia, where Nicole would spend most of her childhood. From an early age, she displayed an unusual combination of shyness and determination. She was quiet in many situations, yet when she stepped onto a stage, something extraordinary happened. The reserved young girl suddenly transformed into someone fearless. Acting became more than a hobby. It became a language through which she could express emotions she struggled to reveal in everyday life. As a teenager, Nicole immersed herself in acting classes and local theater productions. She studied relentlessly, watching experienced performers and learning every detail she could about the craft. While many young people dream of fame, Nicole focused on becoming better. She understood that talent alone was never enough. Dedication separated dreamers from achievers. Opportunities slowly began to appear. Small television roles introduced her to audiences, but success was anything but guaranteed. The entertainment industry was fiercely competitive, and countless aspiring actors were chasing the same opportunities. Yet Nicole possessed something difficult to teach and impossible to ignore. She had a presence that captured attention. Audiences remembered her. Directors noticed her. Producers began taking chances on her. By the early 1980s, she was steadily building momentum, appearing in Australian films and television projects that showcased her remarkable potential. Every performance became another lesson. Every setback became another reason to work harder. Unlike many overnight success stories often celebrated by the media, Nicole's journey was built slowly through persistence. There were disappointments. There were auditions that led nowhere. There were moments when success seemed frustratingly out of reach, but she continued forward. Her breakthrough arrived when larger productions started recognizing her abilities. Critics praised her natural screen presence and emotional depth. Suddenly, the young actress from Australia was attracting attention beyond her home country. Hollywood, the dream destination for actors around the world, began to take notice. Yet entering Hollywood was not as glamorous as many imagined. It was intimidating, demanding, and filled with obstacles. For every star who succeeded, countless others disappeared. Nicole faced the challenge of proving that she belonged among the industry's biggest names. Fortunately, she possessed a rare willingness to take risks. Rather than choosing only safe roles, she pursued characters that challenged her. She embraced complexity. She sought stories that demanded vulnerability. This approach distinguished her from many of her contemporaries and helped establish her reputation as a serious performer, rather than merely a celebrity. As her career accelerated, another chapter of her life began attracting enormous public attention. Her relationship with actor Tom Cruise became one of the most talked-about romances in the world. The pair met while working together and quickly became one of Hollywood's most famous couples. Their marriage fascinated audiences globally. Cameras followed them everywhere. Magazine covers celebrated them as entertainment royalty. To the public, they appeared to have everything: beauty, success, wealth, and influence. Yet life behind the headlines is often far more complicated than people realize. While the world watched their glamorous appearances, both individuals navigated the pressures that accompany extraordinary fame. Nicole's identity frequently became linked to her husband's immense celebrity. Many observers viewed her through the lens of the relationship, rather than recognizing her achievements as an artist. Instead of allowing this perception to define her, she continued building her career with determination. She worked tirelessly to demonstrate that her success was earned through talent and dedication. As the years passed, her performances grew increasingly powerful. She challenged expectations and delivered unforgettable roles that earned widespread acclaim. Critics began discussing her not simply as a famous actress, but as one of the finest performers of her generation. Her commitment to authenticity resonated with audiences and filmmakers alike. She immersed herself completely in characters, exploring emotional depths that few actors could match. Yet fame came with a cost. Constant media attention placed every aspect of her life under a microscope. Personal decisions became public debates. Rumors spread rapidly. Privacy became a luxury. For many people, such pressure would have been overwhelming. Nicole learned how to navigate these challenges while maintaining her focus on work. Her resilience became one of her defining qualities. She understood that public opinion could change overnight, but genuine commitment to excellence remained within her control. Then came one of the most difficult periods of her life. The highly publicized end of her marriage shocked fans around the world. Suddenly, Nicole found herself facing heartbreak under the gaze of a global audience. Many wondered how she would recover. Some questioned whether her career would suffer. Others assumed she would retreat from public life. Instead, she responded in a way that would redefine her legacy. Rather than allowing pain to destroy her confidence, she poured herself into her craft. The years following her divorce became some of the most transformative of her entire career. She delivered performances of extraordinary emotional power, earning recognition from critics, industry professionals, and audiences worldwide. It was as though personal adversity had unlocked new levels of artistic depth. Nicole demonstrated that setbacks do not have to be endings. Sometimes they become the beginning of a stronger chapter. The world watched as she evolved from a talented actress into an international icon whose influence extended far beyond the screen. Her journey became a testament to perseverance, proving that even during moments of heartbreak and uncertainty, extraordinary growth remains possible for those willing to keep moving forward. The years that followed would become some of the most important of Nicole Kidman's entire life, not because everything suddenly became easy, but because she discovered something many people spend their entire lives searching for: the ability to rebuild. When a person experiences public heartbreak, the pain is difficult enough. When that heartbreak becomes international news discussed by millions of strangers, the challenge becomes almost unimaginable. Yet while newspapers speculated about her future and television commentators debated what had gone wrong, Nicole focused on something far more important. She focused on work. She focused on growth. She focused on proving to herself that her identity was larger than any relationship, no matter how significant it had once been. There was a quiet determination in her actions during this period. Instead of retreating from difficult projects, she embraced them. Instead of seeking comfort, she accepted challenges. Instead of chasing approval, she pursued excellence. It was a decision that would change everything. Audiences began seeing a different side of Nicole Kidman. They saw an artist willing to expose vulnerability. They saw a performer capable of extraordinary emotional range. They saw someone who refused to let personal struggles define her future. Every role seemed to reveal another layer of talent. Every performance strengthened her reputation. Directors who had long admired her work now viewed her as one of the most fearless actors in the industry. Critics praised her ability to disappear completely into characters. Fellow performers respected her discipline. Producers trusted her with increasingly ambitious projects. The momentum continued building, and with each success, Nicole moved further away from the public narrative that had once centered largely on her marriage. She was becoming a force entirely on her own terms. One of the defining qualities of Nicole's career was her refusal to remain predictable. Hollywood often rewards familiarity. Studios frequently encourage actors to repeat the same types of roles because audiences recognize and expect them. Nicole resisted that temptation. She chose complexity over comfort. She selected characters that frightened her. She embraced stories that demanded transformation. This willingness to take risks separated her from many contemporaries. While others protected carefully crafted images, Nicole consistently challenged hers. She understood that growth required courage. She understood that true artistry often existed beyond the boundaries of safety. As a result, her filmography became remarkably diverse. She portrayed women from different backgrounds, different eras, different emotional worlds. Some were powerful, Some were fragile. Some were deeply flawed. Yet each performance reflected her commitment to authenticity. She never approached acting as merely reciting lines.